In five.
Welcome, students, to Monk Meditation, the show about monks in the world of Warcraft.
So, you've chosen wisely and boosted a monk to 90. Now what? Well, we'll discuss the boosted monk population numbers and how to handle Spoils of Pandaria. This is Monk Meditation, episode 18.
Here's your host, Chai T.
Hey everybody, this is Chai T from Airy Peak, US, back again for another episode of Monk Meditation. I'm joined by the crew today. We're missing Air, he's feeling a little under the weather, so hopefully he'll be back next episode. But let's check in with tonight's hosts on how WoW is now in...
Storm, Earth,
and fire!
Alright, Duke, how you doing, man? How is WoW going for you?
I am doing well. I am continuing to tank for Rolling Thunder because they're out of options and they literally don't have anyone else to go to. We reset again, started over. I got a couple of pieces. I actually got 2 pieces off bonus rolls that I could use. That was nuts, but that probably speaks more to the fact that I have so little gear. But my Amanolo is 539 now. Getting up there.
Alright. And you're doing quite well. We were back up to, we downed Malkarok in one night,
Yes.
so... And I think we're pushing next, so solo tanking Thok, here we go. Now Yuki, how you doing, man?
We're doing good. Enemy Enterprise feels like we have Garrosh on farm. So, ran Garrosh, killed him again, got a couple more BOAs. I didn't get any as usual. But we did run Flex to kill the rest of the raid time and got the meta achievement done. So we got our mounts on top of the garage mounts, of course. And I've been playing the monk a ton on Diablo 3. Unfortunately, I'm not 60 yet. I'm still a noob. Don't know what's going on in that game. Don't know the difference between Torment, Inferno, Paragon. Yeah.
We'll get
all
you
I
caught
know
up
is
tonight.
dexterity is key, and crit. But I don't know.
Yeah, we'll
Also
catch you up.
Plus bonus experience.
Yes, plus
Yes,
bonus
plus
experience,
bonus
yes.
experience that I probably got only an hour's worth of because it's over. I checked today and it wasn't there. I was like, oh no.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
Come on.
No, it said 24th on MMO Champ. I checked today.
Like,
I'm like,
literally right there, right at that cut line, like 12:01, gone. I was
yeah.
like,
I
no!
was like, ah.
And
So,
Captain Crunch was chatting there. How you doing, Captain?
I'm doing alright. Same thing, different day, blah, blah, blah. Exile Legion, same old, clearing everything, 1 or 2 days. I have worse lucks with heroic Warforged trinkets, like always, but other than that, we're doing solid. I mean, we've been full clear for months now, so now it's just more killing time.
I would be happy with a normal trinket at this point. They continue to evade me, so I hopped in on Flex to go for Siegecrafter to try to get the Ticking Ebon Detonator. Got Shoulders, which I already have 3 sets of those. Awesome. Went and we reset, like Duke said. We went through and we did Dark Shamans. I'm like, all right, I'm going to bonus roll and we're going to get the drop and gold, and didn't get a trinket, and so...
We got a trinket, but it went to the mage.
Right, yeah, Malkarok dropped the multi-strike trinket, and it's like, Alright. Well, this week, hopefully we'll get another shot at Siegecrafter, and I can actually get the Ticking Ebon Detonator. Alright, well, let's get caught up in the crazy whirlwind of WoW news. This time, yes, I am being sarcastic in...
Dizzying haze.
Alright, we got a little bit here. So there was a hotfix that went in, issue where monks were unable to use roll, chi torpedo, or flying serpent kick while carrying the flag in PvP. That had to suck.
Depends on which side of the monk you were on.
Right. Yeah, because you're like, oh man, it's Monk's got it again. This is not going to be good. He's going to take off, and wow, he's moving kind of slow. Yay, dead Monk.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so, alright, that's cool. Cross Realm, Normal, and Heroics are now live in North America, and as of tomorrow should be live worldwide. That's pretty interesting.
I'm gonna sell my soul. That's what I'm gonna do. Need a monk.
No, you guys in Exile, you may just want to start selling for real money. I hear this is something that's going on. Sell carries for real money.
I don't know what you're talking about. I cannot confirm or deny said allegations.
Oh, man.
They're clearly false, except in the instances where they're true, in which case we still say they're false.
I cannot confirm or deny.
Oh, okay.
Next question.
Yeah. So this is a boon to Open Raid. This should help out a lot, and I'm looking forward to pimping myself out for some heroics, trying to do heroics there.
And OQ if you can find it.
Right.
Now,
Yeah.
the one thing I had about this was, say I do a heroic with my raid, but I don't do the last half. Can I do a heroic with another raid?
No.
They didn't explain that, and I went to ask, but like I get mixed answers. Some people are like, well, no, because you're locked to a heroic, right? But they changed that when they made it worldwide or whatever.
I think it was either Lore on Twitter or in the forums that said that when you go into a heroic raid ID and you're locked to that raid ID, you are locked to that specific ID, and you cannot then go and continue with another raid group.
Okay.
I had heard differently, though, I thought.
See?
Yeah, I thought
you
I heard
can,
on
but you don't
Twitter
get
that it's...
loot.
No,
Well, yeah,
no. It's the same as normal, where you can't do the same boss.
Yeah, there's a lot of confusion, but the lockout for heroic is different than the lockout for normal, even though those two share the same freaking lockout.
Yeah.
So who knows what's going on? But
Well, we'll see if anyone in the dojo knows the right answer. I'm pretty sure I read that you can do that. Because
That's what I
someone
read.
had asked, like, if I do heroic up to Garage and we haven't down Garage, if you could do heroic Garage with another team, or maybe it was you could do normal Garage on the other team.
you can do normal. You can switch to a normal group with the progression.
Okay, maybe that's what I saw, is that you can do normal Garage on that other team.
I'll look around, but I know I
Yeah.
saw it. We'll have it in the show notes for people so there's less confusion, because
Right.
this is something that's going on a lot.
Yep. So, and this would be really good for the boosted monks. They can actually have a lot more possibilities for raids once they start gearing up a little bit more. So, and this is the first time we've had an active tier be cross realm. I think that's pretty exciting. And the most interesting part is how heroic is cross realm. That's never happened and won't happen any further because Mythic is not going to be cross realm.
No, that's true. Mythic won't, but heroic will.
Heroic
Yeah.
will, yes, but the highest tier of content currently. This is the first time the highest tier of content could be.
Yes,
accessed
you
cross-realm.
could form a super team and go do heroic without a problem.
Yes,
Plenty of them out there.
yeah. So that'd be kind of fun. So let us know in the dojo what your experiences are with cross realm if you've done it before. So some interesting points to note is going into Warlords, and even currently, some realms don't have a heroic server first yet. You still have to meet the guild mandates in order to get server first because they're guild server first now. So you have to have 8 and 10 man and 20 and 25 man, I believe.
Yes.
So you can't just bring in a whole bunch of good players from cross realms and get your server first. You can only bring in a couple. So sorry to dash those plans for you, Captain. I know you're selling server first, but
Cannot confirm or deny.
all right, so another piece of data came out. I saw this in MMO Champion. I'm not sure what the exact source is. I can find that really quick. Can someone find the source of this? they had a graph of all the different classes based off of boosted characters. So what percentage of each class was boosted. Monk is pretty popular. I think it was like third place at 9.53% of the population was boosting monks, which is awesome. But we're still at like 6 point something percent of the actual population. So, but more monks is good. So this is good.
Yeah, I believe we were the third highest class boosted overall. I mean, everyone's boosting a warlock because they're stupidly overpowered.
Yeah, warlock and shamans were the top 1 and 2. So, but that just means that they weren't that popular before. No one wanted to level them. So it's the same with the monk. Is like I think a lot of people looked at the monk and said, I don't want to level one all the way from 1 to 90. So, but now they have the option, boom, straight 90. So I think that's going to be fairly popular, and I urge you to do it. Do it, though. If you're probably listening to this podcast, you've probably already done that or have leveled 1 to 90 anyways. So, preaching to the choir. But tell your friends, roll monk. All right. Anything to add there, guys?
There really hasn't been that much news.
Not really.
No, it's been kind of quiet, but that's kind of what we expect. We're just waiting for another info dump from Blizzard.
And they've
on
been
more
a
stuff
little
that people are going to
busy.
cry about.
They've been a little busy the last couple weeks. Technical alpha for Heroes of the Storm. We have D3 expansion launching tonight. Hearthstone went live. So I don't blame them for not dropping anything on WoW. It's been a little nuts. So
I actually can't wait for Hearthstone on my iPad.
Oh, dear God. If that comes out, you will not see me for a week.
No. Well,
yeah.
I mean, I'm just going to use it as the game I play on the travel, on the go. I mean, it's great. It's a great game. It really is. But when you're sitting at your computer and you have all these crazy games, you're only going to play Hearthstone for so long before you're like, okay, I'm done.
No, it's going to be, for me, it's when I'm working out, if I don't have any sort of video I'm watching, that's going to be what I'm doing, is playing Hearthstone. Yeah, so I'll have like 2-hour workouts just because I don't want to stop playing. It's going to get my ass in shape is what it's going to do.
My legs can't go anymore, but my hand says play another round.
Yeah, exactly. Just need to get one more win for another 40 gold.
I'm going to be at PAX East in a couple of weeks, and it's one thing that I'm looking forward to getting my hands on at the Blizzard booth that they're doing out there.
It's going to be there.
It's going to be there.
Yeah,
just a warning. There is a chance my name may appear on the news as I run out of there with a Blizzard branded iPad. It's like, no, it's mine. I must have it.
Let's hope Zarheim doesn't actually listen to this show. You'll be in.
It's not really going to happen. It's not going to happen. My wife would beat me within an inch of my life.
I would actually pay to see that.
Many people would. Many people would.
Oh, man.
I would place bets.
All right, well,
don't stealing that iPad. Put it back. You have one already. It's like, yeah, but it doesn't have Hearthstone on it.
It should be soon. I mean, if they've got it working there, unless it's buggy and they're testing stuff out, I imagine that's going to be dropping pretty quick.
Well, there's two scenarios. One, they're going to get it out as quickly as possible, and then all of these CMs are going to hide in a bunker from all the Android fans.
Right.
The other one is that they're waiting for the Android version to be ready to release both at the same time. Otherwise, they're going to get nuked, like literally nuked.
I will probably be turning my Android in for another iOS device here shortly. Battery life is crap. Anyways, welcome to Android Today.
That is true.
All right.
Welcome to Android Haters Today.
Yeah. All right. Now it's time to impart some tips and tricks for those raiding monks in
Fists of Fury. It's go time.
All right. Today we take on the psychotic AoE fight known as Spoils of Pandaria. I love this one as Windwalker, man. And when we did the all monk flex over the weekend, this fight was a lot of fun. But let's go to tanking tips first. Captain, what you got for us?
This fight's pretty simple, straightforward. This one I prefer to use the Cleveland Trinket rather than the Tick and Ebon Detonator. Obviously, Russian Jade Wind. Keep moving. I mean, that's pretty much, as from a tanking point of view, the first thing you want to do is you drop down there, you throw your statue down, you open one box, throw kegs at that panda box as you're running to open the second one, and then just start dragging things on top of each other. And that's all it is. I mean, it's honestly, it's probably one of the easier fights as it tanks, as long as you don't get overwhelmed.
Right.
And that's where the big if is there's those monks that are like, oh, I got this. And then there's those monks that don't open fast enough.
Right.
And you got to find that balance. And that's all it is. You know, monks were huge with cleave. Or keg smash is, I mean, if you get that monk buff for tanks,
Yeah.
you got to use it. I mean, especially if you're on, you know, the Manny side, just keep opening them. And you will literally watch your DPS just melt things away. So as long as you keep that I guess that fluent motion going, you're fine. Talents, your tigers really can be pointless here. It's a 3-minute cooldown. You're not really gonna get a big DPS gain, whereas a Russian Jade win, you'll get a much bigger, you know, a bigger use out of it. You can continue using, you know, your Russian Jade win as you use your keg smash. Some of the targets you can use your breath of fire on. Not all targets, but some of them. But most of the time, as long as you keep moving, you're golden. That's pretty much it, man.
Okay. So the tanking orb that pops up, that does a what, damage reduction? Is that
Damage boost.
right? Oh, damage boost. So boost your damage. Interesting.
Yeah. Oh yeah. That's why you see a lot of the monk tanks on that fighter. They're way up there.
Yeah.
And that's because a lot of monk tanks were very impatient. We're an impatient breed. And we like to open things sometimes too fast, which is good if you're like in a position where you know everybody in the raid's 575 and above. You literally, I cannot open the boxes fast enough. Whereas we're back in 550, I couldn't open them slow enough. Like I kept trying to open them before things were dying, and then we would become into this big cluster.
Word.
You know.
Yeah.
Yeah, word right there. But at this point in the game for me, it's I open a box, I get it to 50%, I open another box. 50%, open another box. And I keep that going. And as long as you keep that going, if you have a strong core DPS, I mean even healers, they get that DPS buff, that wave of whatever it is. You know, even they start getting involved with that.
Right.
And as long as you keep that just keep moving. I mean, that's pretty much all that fight is.
Yeah.
You know, when the bigger guy's out, you drag him over the stone guys. If you tank in, you know, one little guy, honestly, at this point in the game, you can tank more than one at a time, guys. Trust me, you'll be fine. You know, just keep moving, you'll be fine.
So Duke, you've fought this once as brewmaster, and you were opening.
Yeah.
What was your? Did you have any sort of strategy to it, or was it just run around and open all the things?
Well, the first time I opened it a little slowly, and we hit the enrage timer because it's like, okay, so I'll just open this and kill, and open this and kill, and it's like then you said, no, just keep going. It's like, okay, keep going. So all of a sudden I'm opening like 4 or 5 in a row, and I'm going, okay, well, they're killing them behind me. Keep opening boxes all the way through, and yeah, it's a fantastic fight. I absolutely adore it on my brewmaster. I loved it on my Mistweaver as well. But as brewmaster, you're just a 4th DPS on 10-man. You really are. Your goal is like, okay, things are going to hit me, but I'm putting out as much damage as everyone else on my raid team.
Right. Vengeance
So
for
it
the win.
feels fantastic, especially when you got 4 or 5 guys beating on you. Your vengeance is going through the roof. It just feels like a fantastic fight.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So for DPS, this fight is so much fun. So one little tip I'll give is Captain mentioned drag over the other monk to the other box. If you got a Windwalk in your team, you can right off the start from the top of the ridge, you can flying serpent kick all the way to that box and open it within a second of the fight beginning. So you can shave a few seconds off, and as long as your tank knows you're doing it, so they can taunt it. Otherwise, you're getting beat up really quickly. But that's a good way to do it. Monks are really good at moving around the map and opening what you need to do. So, if you have the Sigil of Rampage, this is a fight it can actually be used on. Aaron and I went back and forth on this to try to figure out whether you should, because the Sigil of Rampage does not proc off of Storm, Earth, and Fire. So it really depends on how quickly your guys are, your team is killing stuff. If you're killing it quickly, use Sigil because you're not going to be getting the full benefit of having your Storm, Earth, and Fire clones. If you're a little bit slower, use Storm, Earth, and Fire and do not put Sigil on because Storm, Earth, and Fire is going to give you a significant damage boost over Sigil. So it comes out. Damage parses are about the same. So don't worry it too much. So
I mean, isn't that how it for almost every fight though? If you look at Windwalkers, if you have ads that are up for a longevity of a time, your Storm, Earth, and Fire is going to prove to be a better DPS increase,
right?
Rather than used in, So I mean, like you said, it's you just got to think. I mean, that's pretty much what this game is now.
The problem is with the Sigil Rampage, it's only usable on 2 fights: Spoils and Galacrus.
Yeah.
And that's it. I mean, and you can, if you really have problems on Garrosh in the first phase, I guess you could use it, but then you're wasting it for phase 2 and 3. Would not recommend that. But just saying, it's, if for some reason. So yeah, it can only be used on 2 fights. So in this case, it's really depending on whether or not... Oh, protect... Even then...
Stack them. You stack everything.
Yeah, but Storm, Earth, and Fire is going to prove better, and it doesn't proc off of Storm, Earth, and Fire. Is the problem.
Oh, that's true.
So, and that does, it's 5 targets, so it's actually, I would much prefer like taking Evan Detonator or Harems or something like that over Sigil and Protectors. Yeah, they have 5 up.
We have too many Warlocks.
Right. So, in this particular fight, you can use Sigil if you're killing stuff too fast, and Storm, Earth, and Fire is not going to be up very much. If you're going to have Storm, Earth, and Fire up a lot, I would recommend not using Sigil and using Storm, Earth, and Fire on everything. So what I like to do on my side is when the Ember and Case Kachongs pop up, that's where I'm like, I'm just going to sit and smack that and Storm, Earth, and Fire everything else. And that works beautifully. Disarm, disarm, disarm. Use your disarm weapon when you can. Get that damage boost. And you usually don't have to worry about bombs. I've only got them like once or twice. And I think that's when crap's starting to go down and people are dying anyways. Mm-hmm. But if you do get it, use your mobility to your advantage. Flying Serpent Kick out of there. For talent choices, like Captain said, Rushing Jade Win. Definitely what you want to do. For the... was it 60 talent, which is Dampen Harm versus Healing Elixirs. I actually prefer Healing Elixirs on this one just because there's not much predictable magic damage going out, and there's not enough consistent heavy damage for Dampen Harm. So Healing Elixirs, I think, is a little bit better here. But go with what your gut feeling says.
If you're going to take a hit, it's not going to be a big hit, and it's not going to kill you.
Yeah.
Plus, with the fact that you're in a smaller group, the healer can put much more attention on you. So you're not in the risk of dying, but Healing Elixirs helps out your healer.
Right.
So...
yeah, and for glyphs, really personal preference, whatever you want. Nothing really encounter specific on this one. All right, healers, what you got?
This fight is fantastic for Mistweavers for a simple reason. You can blanket everyone in Renewing Mists all the time. If you're in 10-man, oh my god, it's brain dead simple. You hit Renewing Mist on cooldown, everyone's got it all the time. Even a couple of pets. If you're doing it on 25-man, you get 12 or 13 people, TFT every now and then, you can keep it up real easy. You can get Renewing Mist on about 15, 16 people if you're really diligent about the cooldown. Other than that, it's just like healing a 5-man gauntlet. It's not very difficult. There's a lot of damage going out, but most of the damage can be mitigated if the DPS is paying attention and placing bombs where they need to, staying out of crap they're not supposed to be in. So it feels like you're healing a 5-man gauntlet trash run. And it just feels great because that's where monks do best. Even if you're sitting there fist weaving, you are still keeping the entire raid topped off. And you're doing damage, you're getting through boxes faster, and you look like a superstar.
I totally agree with Duke. It's a snooze fest unless you want to tell the tank to open as much as he can. Please, open it. Open it all. Please give me a challenge because, man, when they do it normal, this is for normal. This is not for heroic. Because I see Captain's face over there. on normal, it's a snooze face. So open as much as you can. I did the mistake of helping out the tank on Thursday, helping him open it, and we opened too much. It was a challenge, but when we got to the Mantid side, they were healing up too quick, so I couldn't handle it. But again, it depends on your DPS healers and all that stuff. But like Duke said, just run it like a 5-man gauntlet, and it's just a piece of cake. It's a normal healing fight. You could choose whichever one you want, whichever one you're more comfortable with. If you're bored, you could choose, regular heals. If you're like on Red Bulls, just fist weave as usual, I guess.
And if you really want a challenge, go for that achievement. Because the achievement is insane. You can't have any one raid player who did both Mantid and Mogu. So you have one group that does both Mogu, you have one group that does both Mantid, which means halfway through, switch sides.
And pray you have Mogu, because Mantid sucks.
I actually
hate those bombs. I hate those. Well, I don't think the tanks get the bombs.
No,
Tanks don't get the bombs.
That's
Tanks
why
don't
you
get
like
the bombs. Mistweavers don't get the bombs either. I've never gotten the bombs.
I've gotten it once or twice.
You've gotten it once?
Yes.
Okay,
But I think there was a DPS down.
Okay.
Right.
I've never gotten the bombs on 10-man or the times that I've done it in LFR or whatever. Never hit those bombs. Never had to worry about that mechanic. I'm just sitting there going, heal, 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 tank some more, heal, here. I'm going to start tanking. It's like open this box, this box, this box, this box, and this box. Yeah, all 6 of them. Just open it right now.
Yeah. That's how we run it. Just open like half the room, please. Just get it over with. Let's go to Thok.
All right, students. Well, it's time now to meditate and expand our knowledge in
Transcendence.
All right, so you've chosen wisely and boosted your monk to 90. Now what? Anyone got anything? What do you do now?
Jets.
You know
What
what
you
you know what I've told people? I've told people that unless they're raiding, don't bother with the cloak.
Well,
Don't bother with it.
won't it help with questing a little bit, or no? Is it
Not
going to be
really.
like replaceable with the first quest? Because I'll be pissed.
No,
You're
it should
probably
last
gonna-
us all the way up
you're
to
gonna
100, I'm
replace it.
assuming.
No, not even close.
No,
It's going to get to
no.
about 93, 94, and then it's going to be utter crap.
We'll see. We'll see, because like
We
your
shall
heroic gear from Cataclysm lasted you pretty much all the way to 90 this time around.
You gotta
That's
remember,
because
item squash. That cloak is gonna be worthless.
Item squish is mostly from 1 to 85. It's not 85 to 90.
the item squish isn't going to affect the Mist of Pandaria stuff as much.
Especially
And the
legendary.
climb from 90 to 100 isn't going to be awful, but you have never ever finished leveling in an expansion in the same gear that you entered that expansion in.
Well, also remember that Heroic Warforged, what is that item level? 578?
580.
580.
Yeah.
This is 28 item levels above that.
Yeah.
So
So you're gonna replace your heroic Warforged double upgraded stuff around level 92 to 93, and
No,
you're
I
gonna
don't
replace the
think so.
cloak around 93 to 94.
my guess is it's going to last you up till at least 96, and the cloak will last you to 100. Beginning 100. Like
I
once you
will
get into
put
heroic
$20
dungeons,
on
you'll
that.
be fine.
I will put
But-
$20
All right.
on the fact that by the time I get
Even
to
on your
94,
first tune,
there's
though?
going to be better options out.
Because I could
Absolutely.
understand the
Because there's two
legendary
things-
folk being useless on alts, because you're gonna have like the nerfs and all that from being in the expansion so long. But for your first tune, I think I agree with Chai. It's gonna last you at least till 96.
I'm with Duke.
Oh
Two-
man,
There's two
Where's-
things that are happening with Gear and Warlords of Draenor, and we are so far off the reservation at this point we need to get back.
Yeah.
But there's two things going on. One, quests have a chance to drop random loot.
Mhm.
So you might have a quest that gives Chai in your party a green, Nayuki in your green, and Captain gets a blue.
what?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Old kick.
That's just the way it works. It tells you, hey,
Yeah.
when you finish the quest, you're going to get an item. And here's your item. It's a legendary. Congratulations. Guess what you just replaced? So that's going to happen. And it's not going to be the kind of thing that happens maybe 1 in 100 quests. You're going to have that happen pretty often because there's not a lot of quests that give out loot.
All right, guys. Remember, keep this episode because I want my $20. So I guess let's set the stakes here. All right.
All right.
So questing greens or blues because you can get blues. So questing greens up through the end zone have
here
to be
is
less
my-
than item level 608 or whatever the cloak ends up being. For me
I
to
will
get to
say
20.
that level 94 quests will reward item level 608 or greater.
Okay. I will take that bet. Happily. Okay. Well, so besides the cloak, I mean, I would say do the cloak because it's fun. It gives you something to do. Well, okay, running under generator not so fun. But especially if you've never done the cloak before, if you are a fresh 90.
Yes.
Do
if
it.
you are a new 90, do it. It's a fantastic quest line. It's grindy as all hell, but you will go through every experience the expansion has to offer you.
Right.
If this is your second 90 or your third 90,
Don't.
think about it.
Yeah. If you're rating, yes. If you're not rating, don't. It's
Yeah,
not worth
it's
going through a
not
second time.
Worth it.
Yeah, I have cloaks on 3 tunes. I'm not doing it again.
I get to the...
I have a
Fourth
cloak
tune.
on one tune. I wasn't planning on doing it ever again.
I've got 3
You know
characters
what? With
stuck
those
at the
tunes,
Valor
I can go
part.
to Ordos.
Yeah.
With those tunes, I can go to Ordos, kill Ordos, have a chance at my heroic Warforged, and I can get the 496 Timeless Isle cloak that's floating around.
Yeah.
And with that, I'm good enough to get into Siege of Orgrimmar, and hey, that cloak that nobody wants that always drops off of
Trash.
Dark Shaman,
Yeah.
it's an upgrade.
Yeah.
That's true.
And also like
Well-
Michael R says in the dojo, this gives you a chance and a reason to go do old raids and experience those raids. Because when you get Timeless Isle stuff, 496, you have no reason to do LFR, Mogushan Vaults, or Heart of Fear, or Terrace. So
That's the other thing I tell people. Don't spend all of your time on the Timeless Isle. As far as Miss Pandaria content, it is some of the most boring content you're going to find. It's fun if you're new to it, but it really does kind of wear itself out within a week or two. Go do those old raids. Go have fun. Go quest through the zones. My favorite zone to quest through is Valley of the Four Winds because the Hidden Master stuff is just
Hidden Master
incredible
is fun,
fun.
especially for a monk.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's great fun to go through the Hidden Master stuff. Avoid Dread Wastes.
Yeah.
Because, dear God, other than doing the Claxy quest, it's not worth doing anything else in that zone.
Yeah. And unfortunately, you basically have to do that zone for 89 through 90, otherwise you just crawl on your XP.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, do the old content LFR. I would say if you're interested in rating, what you do is you start off with 483 greens, and that's enough, I think, to get you into Mogushan Vault's LFR. So, look at your gems, enchant, stuff like that. Get enchanted, not with the best, highest tier stuff, because that's a waste. But, put
Waste
some...
of what?
Wasted the 150 gold you start off with.
Oh my god.
But no, throw some decent gems in there. Go into Ask Mr. Robot, figure out what what to optimize, because you're not optimized at all. So get your hit and expertise cap, get everything, get geared up, pretend you know what you're doing. Look up your rotation, stuff like that. Then jump into Mogushan Vault's LFR. Get your gear that way, level up that way.
Yep.
And that's a fun way to learn. And Mogushan and Vault's LFR, unless everybody in there is boosted, you're going to have a few people that carry you through no problem whatsoever.
Once you've gone through the raids, if you're not raiding, there's other things you can do. The Glorious Achievement. I just finished that on my monk.
Yep.
It was so much fun because you're going around hunting these rares and you have to take them down, and it's one of the more exciting Easter egg hunts that you can have in the game.
Yep.
Go do the Timeless Isle rares. Try and collect all of these toys. Do challenge modes. With that 483 gear, you are kind of geared for challenge modes. Because challenge modes will bring you down to 463.
You'll want purple, so.
You'll want some additional pieces, yes, but you can basically do it. You can try it out with your friends. You can get bronze real easy in that gear.
Yep.
And move up to other stuff. So there's a lot of things you can do outside of raiding. Maybe with that level 90, because you get flying in Pandaria when you boost to 90 also, Maybe you can take up pet battles.
Yep.
There's
Pet
a lot
battling.
you can do with that boosted 90 other than just raiding. So don't think of it as, oh, I have another raid tune and now I got to get it geared up to 595. It's like, no, don't bother. Why?
Mm-hmm.
And if it's your first 90, raid. For the love of God, raid, because Siege of Orgrimmar is so much fun.
Yep. But if this is your second 90, make sure you level to 60 first and get your boosted professions. That's a really good thing. So, but if you're leveling, if this is your first 90, just boost to 90 and go and enjoy all this content that Miss Pandaria has. We have 4 patches of heavy content. I do the Crasring Wilds 5.2. Do the Isle of Thunder 5.3.
Yeah,
Forgot about that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Great.
Yeah, the
that
Crasring Wilds stuff, that PvP stuff down there, that was a lot of fun back in the day. I enjoyed that. And the storyline, they and keep doing it because the storyline will advance every few days, and you'll get more snippets of the story. And the storyline is really good. Now, Yuki, you had something about that too, right?
The Crassaring Wilds one?
Well, just about the content and how it's different from either side.
Oh, yeah. Perfect example is my monk is Alliance. And the boosted to 90, I made a Horde. And the storyline between the two, from the beginning of MLP all the way to even Siege of Orgrimmar, even when you kill Garrosh, the whole story is different. I mean, it's alike in a lot of ways where you get the concept and the story is kind of similar, but you just get both different views. You get the Horde side view and the Alliance side view. So if you're into lore, it's extremely good to look into that side of raiding and lore and questing and all that stuff.
Yeah, I have... Go ahead, dude.
Sorry, go ahead. My boosted 90 is going to be a Horde. I don't know where yet, and it's going to be a monk. It's going to be
Bleeding
a monk.
Hollow.
It might be Bleeding Hollow. It might be Earthen Ring. It might be some other server. I haven't figured it out yet, but I want to boost a Horde simply because I've never had a max level Horde. And I want to see the stuff from that side. Like one of my favorite vanilla zones, of the newly revamped vanilla zones, is Stone Talon Mountains on the Alliance side. Because it feels like an episode from 24. Where you're trying to stop the bomb. You're whispering loudly to people. So what is that like on the other side? What's that like on the Horde side? I'm very interested to see these quests. And that's something else you can do with a boosted 90. Jump to the other side. See what it's like on their side. If you don't like it, then later on you pay $25 and you switch back over to Alliance. But this is a really easy way to go through all of that content and just kind of blow through and get the story.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
MLP, the story's great.
I leveled up from 5.0 to 5.2 as Horde. And so I got the Crasring Wild 5.2 quest zone from the Horde side. And then I switched over to Alliance, and so I got to see their side of the story too, which I thought was a lot of fun. And you do 2 completely different sides of the same story. And that's something that I highly recommend people do.
The thing is a little on the weird side, though.
Yeah, a little bit.
It's wait a second. What? Who's the Monkey King? Where did this come from?
Yeah, but being able to take on, go out to the where the trolls start. I forget the name of the isle, Darkspear Isle or something like that. And
Ascension.
Being able to rescue the trolls that are being basically persecuted by Garrosh. Spoilers.
That's by Kunlai Summit, right?
No, it's out in out by Orgrimmar.
Yeah,
and
to the very bottom.
Yeah, you take the side along with Thrall, and you go out there and save them, and that was really cool. I enjoyed that. So, yeah, it's definitely something to do with with that. So, but when you boost up, there's so much stuff to do, so much content.
Now, if you're raiding, you got 3 specs to choose from. You got Brewmaster. Don't go into Brewmaster thinking that you're an indestructible Windwalker. You're not. You're a Brewmaster. Windwalker's a lot of fun in both PvE and PvP. Mistweavers are a lot of fun in PvE. I haven't really tried it on PvP.
They are a lot
Brewmaster is awesome in PvP, especially if you get something like Warsong Gulch and you just tell everyone, yeah, give me the flag, I got this. Your mobility down the field is amazing. There are warriors that will be jealous of you the entire time. because they need a target to intercept to, or heroic leap only takes them so far. Meanwhile, you're just flying across the hill.
Yeah.
So have fun with it. If you're going to raid and you're a brewmaster, make sure you got your glyphs. Make sure you got your Timeless Isle 496s. Farm this up on your other mains if you haven't done it yet. It's real easy to get a full leather set, especially if your other 90 is a leather, because one of the things that Timeless Isle does is that it prioritizes the drops that you get, the 496 Timeless
for your
armor
class.
pieces
Yeah.
for your class. So you're going to get, if you're a monk and you're boosting a rogue, you probably have a lot of already leather pieces. If you're a rogue and you're boosting a monk, congratulations. This is the correct answer.
Right.
You can buy them with the coins too.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can get them with the coins. So you want to hit Timeless Isle. Hopefully you have your cloak on another 2 and you can get geared up through Ordos. Do the 4 Celestials every week. Going around and killing stuff for about an hour every day on Timeless Isle will get you enough lesser charms for the 50 that you need for your weekly quest to get Warforged Seals. Jump into LFR as soon as you get a weapon, because at that point you're 496, you can jump into SOL.
Yeah.
So
All right.
there's a lot you can do. If you're looking for class-specific guides, there are a lot of great places out there. Sunniers is the best place to go if you want to learn how to Brewmaster.
Mm-hmm.
If you want to learn how to Windwalker, talk to Brotund on Twitter. He will teach you the ways. Air is very good as well. He's on a different schedule than the rest of us being in Japan. So if you're a Night Owl, talk to Air.
Yep.
And if you want to talk about Mistweavers, there's a lot of really great people out there. Affinity's good to talk to. Message me or Naoyuki. We help people all the time.
Yeah. I'm always happy to help anyone out on any spec, so let me know. Icy Veins, even just to get started, good guides there. MMO Champion forums, I would probably tend to avoid that. And our favorite resource, gburst.com.
Yep.
So definitely check them out. There's guides for every spec on there, which is really great, really handy. So jump on there, chat with us if you have any questions. If you think you're doing everything right and you're just not getting the numbers you want, there's even a forum on there to throw up your armory and your logs and everything like that. We'll help you out as best we can. All right, well, I think now it's time to travel to the Peaks of Serenity, the home of all monks in
Zen pilgrimage.
Monks, assemble!
I just banned Dark Lady. No. I misclicked.
Oh man.
I'm not even in that chat.
Yeah.
We'll be cutting this part out, right?
Yep. Sorry, Dark Lady. My
What
bad.
the hell is going on in that chat?
We've got some weird dojo stuff going on. Damn it. Sorry. Anyways, Tiger Crane asks an interesting topic. If you could transfer one ability from D3 monks to WoW, what would it be?
7-sided strike.
We're getting that already, though,
Without-
aren't we?
7-sided
How?
strike?
Oh wait.
Yeah, no, that was one of the 100 talents. Was essentially 7-sided strike.
I thought that got pulled back though.
We have no idea, but that's what it was.
Every conversation that Celestalon has had, he has said, yeah, those level 100 talents, they're still in there.
Well, I'm sticking with 7-sided strike, regardless. Because it's
I like Wave of Light with the Explosion Light as a skill rune, because that AoE is unbelievably awesome looking. And it's badass how it just, you run in and boom, everything dies.
Yeah, I want more range, so actually lashing tail kick where you do a kick and this hurricane flies out from you. Just kind of like the old Rushing Jade Wind. I kind of want that, and with different elements and stuff like that. That'd be really cool. All right. Let's see, and you had a question on Twitter now, Yuki?
Yep. From, I don't know how to pronounce this name,
Rinsler.
Rinsler. Yes. Numbers, they confuse
Yes.
me. Alright. What's your opinion on the place of Fist Weavers? And he says, I like it more than Mist, but I hear it's not good anymore. And I replied that at the moment it is viable, but depending on the gear. Because Duke explained this at the last episode or the one right before that, that depending on if you have a one-handed weapon or if you have a main hand offhand, it varies with your numbers where it should be the difference between fist weaving and healing should add up to your total healing as a mistweaver. Am I correct?
Yeah, I had a good conversation over Twitter with Rinsler this morning and basically said listen, you're not going to top meters as a fist weaver. Not on DPS, not on healing. You're just not going to because we're not priests.
Unless it's Thok.
Yeah, unless it's Thok. Now, what's it good for? Hey, this stuff is on farm. My people don't need a lot of healing, so I'm going to go fist weaving and contribute 100k DPS. And you can do that. Even in crappy gear, you can contribute 100k DPS real easy. Your healing is going to be somewhere between 40 and 70. It's usually about 50 to 55 if you're doing 100k. Your healing is typically going to be about half of your DPS, and that depends on placement of your statue and placement of yourself.
Or on fights that healing isn't really an issue and DPS is kind of an issue because you're getting to that enraged timer. Mm-hmm. You could also help with fist weaving. That extra 100k DPS helps out there as well.
Yeah. Now, if you're strictly fist weaving, the rotation is dead simple because it's jab, tiger palm the whole way through, with the occasional blackout kick to renew serpent seal. Things start to get complicated when you're shifting between fist and mist the entire time, because that's where you got to keep track of your renewing mist. When you're not trying to blanket renewing mist and thunder focus T, you're fist weaving to keep your DPS up. You're doing channeling jade lightning every now and then because you have the intellect DPS cloak. Mm-hmm. So there's a lot of ways that you can do it. Like, for instance, our garage kill, I did not have the intellect legendary cloak, but I had the agility cloak, so I put that on. And I think my DPS went up about 15%.
Yeah.
Because the Fury of Zwen is just absolutely insane. And it'll trigger off your standard jab, blackout kick, tiger palm. Whereas the DPS proc won't. The DPS proc will pretty much only channel off of crackling jade lightning. So it's weird. Fist weaving is in a weird place, but you want to keep your haste low. You want a lot of crit. A lot of crit. You want more crit than anything else that you possibly have. You don't gem intellect. You don't gem anything but 320 crit as much as you can. And the last bit is it looks even better for us in the future, especially with the dedicated stance, the stance of the red crane. Oh, yeah. Because now we're going to be able to be balanced separately from Mistweavers as opposed to being included as, well, we're kind of a half gear.
Right. I am looking so forward to that.
Me too, because it's going to really change the gameplay of Mistweavers. And it's going to change it in a better way where now you can be that half DPS, half healer, put out decent numbers on both, and maybe, just maybe, even try topping numbers every now and then. And if your team is on farm, you're kind of silly not to be a fist weaver.
Right. Mm. Yeah. Help that DPS out a lot. Yep.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Well, I want to talk about a fun little thing we did over the weekend, the All Monk Flex team. So we started at Wing 3 and basically one-shot everything in there, and got up to Siegecrafter when things started to go a little bad. So I particularly want to point people to the kill video on Thok, because that was hilarious. So I made a call as the raid lead to say, everyone who can go Fistweaver, go Fistweaver. And I had a whole bunch of people go ask, what? I'm like, just do it. And we sat there, and you can watch the health bars. Every time he does the scream, it's like health bar would go like, think.
The entire time.
Yeah, and I think I rewatched it today. I think we got up to 89 stacks, and then 92. He died. It was 92?
92 stacks, and then he died. And it was absolutely insane. So sure enough, Chai here decides to tweet Celestalon, hey, is this intended? And what did Celestalon say?
Everything here appears to be intended. And I'm like, are monks supposed to be this awesome, or are we bugged? And they said, no, everything looks intended.
We monked Thok.
Yes, that was beautiful. I loved it.
It was fantastic.
Yep.
Especially the fact that it was an all-monk team. It's like, yeah, we're thinking the whole time we're going to have to get our channeling, crackling jade lightning out, and it's going to be force lightning like crazy. Nope.
Didn't
we
even
just
touch
stood there,
it. Yep.
pounded the hell out of that foot. So much that about halfway through, you can hear me go, why haven't we hit heroism yet?
You're right. I was saving it for phase 3, and I was like, what?
Health. It's like, I don't have the debuff for heroism. Have we hit that yet? Why haven't we hit that yet?
Seeing all the kitties was hilarious. Malkorok proved fairly interesting because we don't have range to soak the puddles, so you would just see, we'd see all these people cluster in a group, and all of a sudden go, poof, and then come back in repeatedly every time. And then Spoils was lol easy with all those Windwalkers. I think we finished the first side, and I look up at the rage timer. It's like, you have 95 seconds left for the first wing. I was like, oh, okay. We'll just chill out here. Everyone go get a drink.
Worried.
Yeah, I was worried.
You like, look up, it's like, okay, guys, we got to get ready. How close are you? And I go, dude, they got like a minute and a half left. Oh,
okay.
Well, I'm going to have a drink then.
Yeah,
It
Thok
was fun. It was a fun time. If you missed it, come to the next one. If you're on a Horde side, I know that they already set up another Horde one, I believe, for April 9th.
Yeah, I think that sounds right. So yeah, we'll be doing one in April as well, and that one will definitely be targeted at Garrosh. We want a down Garrosh. We came very close on Saturday. We got him down to like 11% one time before he got sucked.
5 pulls?
Yeah, we only did 5 pulls, and we got into phase 3, except for the first couple times when we were like, oh yeah, engineers. Yeah, we're like, what, melee have to do engineers? Okay. So, it's funny, the Mistweavers are actually doing a lot better DPS on those than the Windwalkers were. Our Crackling Jade Lightning is pathetic. Send over Duke.
No, that's what it was. It's like, okay, so you went over there. Another one that joined us named Aria. I forgot what server she's on, but she joined us, goes over there, and then I roll over there. And you can see the health bar doing this.
Yeah, it's going...
And then I show up.
Yeah. And we get back, and it's like we only had problems with the Empowered Whirling Corruptions a little bit. We just had... The thing is, you don't have any battle reses. So... If one person dies, that just makes it that much harder, and it only takes one little mistake for someone to just get one shot. So that was the problem. Is you start losing one guy, then another guy, then another guy.
One shot.
Yeah.
If there's one mechanic, monks should not have an issue with. It's Empowered Whirling Corruption.
Right.
Because if you're a Windwalker, you have 3 cooldowns, and if you're a Brewmaster or Windwalker, or Brewmasters have 3 cooldowns as well. The only ones that could be compared to hurt is Mistweavers. But if everyone hits their cooldown, and if you're a Mistweaver, it's Dampen Harm, or Diffuse Magic, Zen Meditation, Diffuse Magic. That's your rotation for the 3 Whirling Corruptions you're going to get. Nobody should be taking damage.
Yep.
Nobody. If you're a Windwalker, it's Touch of Karma, Diffuse Magic, Touch of Karma.
Yep. Yeah.
If you're a Brewmaster, it's Diffuse Magic, Avert Harm, Diffuse Magic. What does that mean? That means Whirling Corruption is... Oh, what happened?
Yeah, I think it was the ads that got us more than anything, and people getting one shot during the transition phases. So, but yeah, that's a lot of fun. So we had a question out in the dojo. Michael R asked, "Do you think they'll change Mistweaver global cooldown with the new stance?"
It's possible. They want healing to be slower.
Yeah.
So it's very possible that they might change the GCD. You might see the GCD be just 1.5 seconds with Serpent Stance. You might see them keep the 1 second GCD on Red Crane. It really depends on what they want to do with that. It's possible they may give everyone the 1 second GCD and just call it a day.
Right.
You know, especially with all of the changes that they've made for input lag issues. They may just decide that 1 second is the way to go for everyone and just go from there.
Yeah. All right. Well, now Yuki, you got any shout-outs?
Yep. Shout out to my raid team, Edamame Enterprise, for always making me feel at home when we raid. Huggy. They honestly make me feel a part of the family. Shout out to all the new level 90 monks out there.
Woo!
and for all the listeners tuning into our crazy podcast.
All right, Captain, you got anything?
It's my normal. Shout out to my Exiled Legion peeps, my Simcraft peeps, and everyone that watches our wonderful podcast. That's pretty much it.
All right.
Like always.
All right, Duke.
The last month I've been learning how to brewmaster, so let me go in order of importance. First, thank you for Sunnier for not only her weak auras, but her incredibly detailed guide. Thank you for Captain for Simcraft, because that has been amazing in trying to figure out just where the heck my gear is supposed to be and how much damage I can take and all that other fun stuff. Ask Mr. Robot has been fantastic because they have a nice little link to Icy Veins that tells me other stuff to do, and if you look at the Icy Veins site, it's all vetted by Sunnier. No surprise there. Thanks to Rolling Thunder for telling me you have 2 days to learn how to brewmaster. Go do it. And somehow we figured that out. It's been an interesting month changing your main spec in the last tier of the raid, and I can see why a lot of people don't want to do it. But it's been a fun challenge, and since we already downed Garrosh, we're basically on a new progression with 3 new tunes on the team, and it's been a lot of fun. Everyone's been really supportive, so thank you to Rolling Thunder for making sure I'm not going to bed crying myself to sleep every night.
Yeah, I'm sorry about that, Duke. That was a little mean. All right, well, I want to shout out, to Rolling Thunder, my team, for being so flexible with, switching people around and not being too antsy for not hitting heroics right away. I also want to give a shout out to at CTR Copperbolt on Twitter for making a fantastic background for the show, which I am showing right now. That thing is awesome. I made one myself, but I'm not a designer, and she's like, wow, the colors really suck, so here you go. So... And
it's like right in the middle,
great.
you have Air, and we're all standing in Pandaria, and then Air is like miles apart from everyone else. He's like, screw you guys.
Yeah, he's like Nobergon, and he's our size, which was just wrong. So I thought about shrinking him down to itty bitty, but I decided not to do that. But in this one, definitely is. So that was
weapon transmog. Nice.
Yep, you got your weapon transmog, except for Air. Air is holding little sticks. So.
It seems kind of fitting for Air, though. I mean, he is a little person.
Right. Since he's not here to defend himself.
Exactly.
All right.
It looks fantastic. It makes us look good. Thank you very much, Copper.
Yep. Thank you so much. All right. Well, I think it's time to get our furry butts out of here. But first, let's go see those awesome 5-star reviews. What we got now, Yuki?
The U.S., there was no reviews this week, but we did get 7 5-stars in our rating, so thank you everyone that gave us 5 stars.
Moot. Thank you so much. And there was a one from the UK. Jillian says, great format, great hosts, great content, great balance, a lot of greats, and the right length. Enough said. All right. Well, thank you so much for the 5-star reviews. It really helps. Please rate us on iTunes, subscribe on YouTube, or on twitch.tv. As part of the Monk community, if you have a blog, website, or person you want to see on the show, please reach out to us via email at show@monkmeditation.com. The Monk community is the best one in the world of Warcraft. We want to showcase it. Daikatsu, how can the dojo best reach us?
Well, you can find us all at Twitter. You can follow the show at monk_meditation. You can follow Chai Tea at WowMonk. Naoyuki is at Naoyuki_CTR. Air is at Airwalker. I can be found at Daikatsu CTR, no underscore. And Captain Crunch can be found at KPTN Crunch.
All right. Thank you, everybody, for listening. We really appreciate it. You can watch us live April 7th at 8 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. Pacific, 100 UTC at twitch.tv/WowMonk. You can also catch us after the fact on iTunes, Stitcher, Twitch, YouTube, and monkmeditation.com, where you can support the show for bringing you the best monk discussion on the interwebs, and even with Bitcoin, if that's your thing. Monk Meditation is part of Catalyst Gaming Media. For other great gaming blogs, podcasts, and events, please visit catalystgamingmedia.com. This wraps up this episode of Monk Meditation.
May your brews be strong and your heart stronger.
Good night, everybody. Thank you.
Peace.